New data shows rental affordability has hit record lows in nearly every major capital. The annual Rental Affordability Index, released by SGS Economics and Planning and National Shelter, confirms low-income earners are bearing the brunt of soaring rents. It also reveals that Perth has now overtaken Sydney as the least affordable city to rent in Australia. For more, we'll bring in the lead researcher, Ellen Witte from SGS Economics and Planning. Ellen, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
This is largely pretty bad news for renters across the country. Just how much are people spending to keep a roof over their heads each week?
Yeah, it's really deteriorated a lot. So we've been delivering the Rental Affordability Index for 10 years now, and it's never been this bad. So the index has now 2 capital cities where even the average income household is paying more than 30% of their household income on rent. And mind you, those are households that earn like $120,000 to $130,000 per annum. So those are well-established households where people get quite a good income. So that just paints the picture of how dire the situation would be for the much lower income households, where the situation is quite drastic now.
When people are spending such a significant amount of their income on rent, how is that affecting the rest of their lives and their ability to pay other bills?
It really flows through in every aspect of their lives. So it's whenever households are paying more than 30% of their rent, we're basically saying they're in housing stress. So that means there's insufficient money left for other primary needs, such as food, transport, cooling or heating of the house, education and medical needs as well. So it's really quite a big problem. And of course it flows through to the children as well. And you might even have intergenerational issues as a result.
This report has added a new critically unaffordable category. What does that mean? Why was that necessary?
Well, we've been tracking this for quite a few years, and we started to see that while in the past affordability was mainly an issue in the capital cities, we saw the affordability really spread like an oil stain, and entire areas in our interactive maps showing up as quite deep red. But if you look further into the data, there are now whole suburbs where lower income households would be paying 75% of their income or more on rent, and that's just undoable. So that results in entire cohorts being pushed out of the market, living in overcrowded housing or other unsuitable ways of living. And also in the past, perhaps it was sometimes said, oh, maybe if you can't afford it here, maybe just move a suburb down over. But it's spread now so far, everything is unaffordable, and since COVID, even the regions are unaffordable. So now it's a national problem and households have nowhere to go.
So Perth was Australia's most affordable city just a few years ago. It's now overtaken Sydney as the least affordable city. What's happened there?
Yeah, so affordability dropped by 13% in 1 year. So we looked a bit more into the data of what was going on there. Just like any other capital city, there are high construction costs and material costs, but that's affecting everyone. And as a result, of course, less housing coming online. But also with that continued population growth. And of all the states and territories in Australia, Western Australia actually has the highest level of investment as share of the regional economy. And that's especially investment in engineering and any sorts of industries that are supporting the resources industry.
Ellen Witte, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.